Hello there, everybody. This is General Snivy, and welcome back to more of the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition playthrough. Last time, we recruited my favorite character, the legendary hero pawn known as Ricky, and we also completed a lot of different side quests as well. So in today's session, we're going to move on and head towards the Eryth Sea, which is our next stop. And of course, before we get started, I did raise everyone's level up to level 40, just to be prepared for the road ahead, as I'm pretty sure the enemies are going to be that strong by the time we get there. Plus, I changed everyone's clothes around, with the exception of Ricky, because we just got him in the last session, so might as well let him stick to his kind of default outfit for a little bit longer. So anyway, it's time to head on off to the Eryth Sea. After I remember this time to actually mark a backup save, and save right here. There we go. I did that last time, and that was not exactly very secure of me to have done that. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's head on out to the Eryth Sea.
What is it?
Friends, jumping ball. All go to Eryth.
Jump? In that? You're nuts, furball.
You have nothing to fear. This will take us to Eryth Sea.
Ooh, I wonder what's going on around here. Looks like some sort of laboratory and some artificial Telephia being manifested in there? Who knows? I don't intend on finding out anytime soon, but who knows? Maybe we'll encounter it sooner than we think. Anyway, welcome everyone to the Eryth Sea.
Who would have thought Eryth Sea was right on top of Ricky's village? Dive deep enough, you can reach their tree.
Perhaps you should try.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Might do. Haven't decided yet.
Says you.
Is something wrong?
Aren't you curious? About why we're going to Prison Island, I mean.
It is not common for Homs to visit this region. You may have good reason, but forgive me. I do not pry into other people's business.
It's definitely bugging her, Shulk.
How dare you, you clown?
It's okay, Melia. We're not strangers anymore.
Well, You were right.
So then you'll listen to our story?
Yes. Tell me why you are here.
Basically, it all started when...
I see. I had heard about the Mechon assault on the lower regions, but did not know the situation was so grave. How lucky we are. Hey, what's that?
Is that?
You are looking at Prison Island.
So that's Prison Island.
Yes. And that is the Imperial capital, Alcamoth.
It's not just me, right? A floating city's a bit weird.
Built with superior defenses in mind.
Incredible. What technology makes this possible?
I do not know, and I've never had the need to.
You don't know? It doesn't freak you out?
You can eat bread without knowing how to bake it. Makes sense to me.
Not exactly a good analogy
We need
there.
Imperial sanction to enter Prison Island.
Okay.
We will travel to the capital first.
And how do you expect us to get up there? Fly?
There is a transporter up ahead. We can use that.
We've been deep sea diving. Now we're gonna fly.
Like
This
eagles?
place gives me the creeps. I guess we don't have a choice. Right. Onwards to the capital.
Still,
What is it, Dunban?
it's a sight to behold.
It most certainly
Those
is.
look like anti-mechon defense systems.
I guess that could be one reason why this place wasn't affected by the Mechon menace. Anyway, welcome to Eryth Sea, one of the bigger maps of this whole freaking game. How? Well, simply put, much like Frontier Village, this place is kind of built on verticality and island hopping. And that's what makes this place really stand out. There are a lot of different transports scattered throughout the entirety of Eryth Sea, which take you from one place to another. Thankfully, if you look at your map and you reach a transport, you'll be able to figure out where exactly, or at the very least get a general indication of where these teleporters are going to take you. So, in order to take a teleport, just walk into it, stand still for about 2 seconds, and then you'll teleport away. Also, load times are unaffected by whether or not you'll teleport, so there's at least that. So, our next stop is technically supposed to be Alcamoth. However, I kind of want to explore a bit first. Why? Because I wanted to mark a few locations off the map. Plus, this will allow us to fast travel from one location to another very quickly at later points in time when we need to. Okay. So it seems like the enemies around here are around level 34, level 35, something like that. So I guess raising my level again really wasn't necessary, but I wanted to do so for the sake of consistency, as I have been leveling up my team a little bit in between each and every session. Considering the fact that my team's already technically level 99, I figured raising their levels little by little in between sessions is just the best way of handling things right now. Which, funny enough, in the original Xenoblade Chronicles, even during a New Game Plus playthrough, you can't change the levels of anyone, period. As expert mode was simply not a thing. That is until this release of the game. Now, you don't have to worry about that.
Prepare yourselves!
Psychics, try hard.
I'm ready!
Ancient spirit of ice to me!
Okay, time to get to work on smacking some birds out the sky.
Helping each other is our greatest strength.
Ricky's also greatest. I feel Ricky getting
Building within me, I see life outside my
There
walls.
we are, all done. Not bad at all. Let's see what we got. Boop, boop. And... okay, I think I got one of these with a 3 slot, though I can't remember for sure. Screw it, I'll just take it.
Prepare yourselves!
You dare challenge Hilbon?
I'm ready!
Summon ice!
Okay.
Manifest yourself!
Looks like I accidentally triggered the wrong enemy to come after me. Oh well. Funny enough, there is an art that Melia can learn known as Reflect, and strangely enough, it doesn't count towards the 3 elemental limit. It's known as Reflect, and what that does is that it will create a temporary barrier around Melia and protect her from any and all damage for 5 seconds. So if Melia ever gets targeted for some reason, don't be afraid to use the Reflect ability. It will come in handy more often than not, trust me. So, as you can see, it may seem like this place isn't too big, but looks are very deceiving, especially around here. Considering the fact that there are a lot of these island transports scattered throughout the entirety of Eryth Sea, it's a very big place. Like, really, really big. And also falling down into the sea itself, it doesn't kill you, but it does waste a lot of time. And you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of swimming if you're not careful. Or at the very least, you'll be able to fast travel after landing in the water. Get smacked. You see what I mean about Melia just being an absolute beast when it comes to her abilities? And just dispersing her elemental prowess? Yeah, I wish her AI was better than that and actually did what it's supposed to and unleashed the elemental power. Like, oh, I don't know, the Avatar or something from Avatar The Last Airbender? Ooh. Okay, we got a nice heart-to-heart here between Sharla as well as Ricky. Let's take a look. Flowers of Eryth Sea. This looks interesting. These flowers smell like passion. Ricky, feel different. Feel passionate. Passionate? Are you feeling alright, Ricky? Ricky love flowers. I like flowers too. Charlotte like them too? Flowers taste yum yum, no? Oh, you eat them? Yes, but also give to wifey pawn if no pawn custom. Or it no pawn custom. Ricky, bring flowers home. Okay, hang them on walls. So there's more to you than food after all. You're a good husband. Ricky, not a good husband. These flowers are such a lovely shade of blue, you know. I think they would suit Melia. How about you pick one for her? It could be a present. Give to Melie. She'd be so happy. Charlotte have good idea. Ricky want to do good for Melie. That girl's got her head screwed on right, but it can't be easy. She's so uptight, I wish she'd let loose once in a while. Ricky think the same. Melie nice bird lady. Hey, why don't I help you? I could look for flowers with you. I think I know what she'd like. Yay! Ricky picked flower for Charla. Melie will be happy. It's cute. It's also interesting to know that Nopon not only picked flowers just because they look pretty, but also because they eat them like delicacy. Is it me, or do humans also do the same sort of thing with certain plants? I think it's more like a salad delicacy as anything else? Maybe? I'm not too sure. Perhaps they add them via a salad or something? There I go repeating myself again, and there I go spoiling the game again like a dum-dum. I don't know why. I confuse ZL and ZR for L and R almost all the damn time. And I play this console fairly often. I mean, not as often as, say, as PlayStation 4, but still. a fairly decent amount, if I do say so myself. Okay, that was pretty funny. So, the weather conditions for this place, they range from nice and sunny to rain on mother truckin' lightning storms. And there's also a really beautiful weather condition that only occurs at night here in Eryth Sea. And I'm not going to say what it is, but let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. It's just one of the many wonders that you'll find in this wonderful game. Speaking of wonders, during thunderstorms, be careful when using ether arts around here, because you're going to be encountering a lot of level 85 elemental enemies. That is, unless you're hunting for specific materials from those particular elementals, in which case, be prepared. And at least be at the same level as the elemental, and also be ready to take it down quickly. Otherwise, it may explode at the wrong time, and it's not going to be fun. Believe me, it isn't fun whenever you see an elemental explode. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. When an elemental explodes, it not only deals a ton of damage, but it'll also make it so you don't get any experience, AP, or SP in return, which is annoying. Honestly, that's the most annoying thing about elementals, is the fact that they can explode. And when they do, it not only hurts, but it also hurts your pride and your sense of time? I'm not really sure how else to describe it. It's just one of those things that is super damn annoying. But it is what it is. As you can see, there's a ton of different hovering reefs. And that's just the upper parts of Eryth Sea. If you head down below, like towards the very sea part of Eryth Sea, there's even more things to discover. Just keep in mind, though, that there aren't exactly any fast travel points that I know of that take you to the lower parts of Eryth Sea.
Prepare yourselves!
Ricky want to bum smack this time.
I'm ready!
Ancient spirit of ice!
All together now!
Let us exhibit our strength. Ether is flowing through me. Is this the final one? Return to chaos! Everyone, prepare for a chain attack. We are victorious.
Ricky like fighting.
I was kind of worried that
Nice job!
fighting these two asshats here was gonna attract the elemental. And I definitely don't want that to happen. Ether crystal deposit. Too bad it's not a fast travel point. Otherwise, that would make an upcoming event so much faster and easier. But it is what it is. It's no big deal. Still, it's nice to add that location to our map and just commit it to memory. One thing I will definitely say is, when navigating large places such as this, being able to view the transparent map of the area you're traversing in is a pretty big godsend. Just considering the fact that trying to figure out where you need to go can be a bit problematic in this place, the map here really does make things easier. It really does. As far as fast travel points, there are quite a number of them, and I'll try to mark as many as I can on the map as we continue our little exploration of Eryth Sea. I think from what I've seen speedrunners do, they mark the fast travel point of the lighthouse and then fast travel to Alcamoth immediately after. I can't really say if they do that for sure, as it's been quite a while since I've last seen one of the speedruns of that game. Of this game, rather. But, Okay, yeah, this transporter unfortunately is broken. I guess we have no choice but to head to Alcamoth. Alright, let's head inside. Hello there.
Who are these guys?
More bird
Are
people.
those wings on their head? They must be High Entia.
Welcome home, Lady Melia.
Lady Melia.
Lady.
Huh?
Thank you, Captain. These Homs and this Nopon are my guests. See them safely to the guest quarters. Give them anything they need.
As you wish. What's going on?
I have no idea.
Melia, are you?
Ooh, another vision.
Melia,
I cannot speak now, but I shall fulfill my promise.
I understand.
I will arrange for an audience with the Emperor. Will you wait?
We won't move an inch. Trust me.
My thanks.
Lady Melia, he says. Shulk, you thinking the same as me?
Whatever her position is here, Melia won't let us down.
I'm sure you're right.
Hello.
More of these guys.
And they're armed. What the hell's going on here? I thought we were guests, not hostages or prisoners. But here we are.
I must report the Telephia's defeat to His Majesty and request entry to Prison Island. Shulk is depending on me. I must hurry to the audience chamber.
So, at this point, Melia is the only controllable character at this point. And as for Shulk and friends, Melia doesn't even know that her friends are being arrested. Because reasons. Perhaps there's a dark version of each of us.
You say the second consort's child survived her ordeal?
Forgive me, First Consort. I, Tyrea, vow to see your orders fulfilled.
Whilst she's in the capital, do not underestimate the lengths to which His Majesty and the child's loathsome goons will go. How, pray tell, will you avoid the guards?
I will do whatever it takes.
Oh, your stupidity bores me.
Your Highness,
Enough of your drivel!
We will have our chance when she stakes her claim to the throne.
I wonder what conspiracy theory is going on here. We'll find out soon enough as we explore the Imperial capital, Alcamoth. Apparently I'm getting tongue-tied a lot today. So apologies for that, but it is what it is. Anyway, there's not really much of a point of exploring Alcamoth right now. It's a better idea to just take Melia directly to the throne room and just mark these landmarks as you go. And the simple reason for this is Shulk and friends will be able to explore Alcamoth soon enough, but on what terms is yet to be determined. But you'll soon see what I mean. Anyway, let's report our findings to His Majesty. His mighty, majestic majesty. If you know what I mean.
Melia Antiqua, First Princess, has returned, Your Majesty.
Raise your head.
Your Majesty.
The Telephia rained havoc on countless veteran knights. You triumphed where they could not. I find it difficult to suppress these feelings of pride for you, my kin.
But, Your Majesty, I failed to return with any of the subjects you entrusted to me. My inexperience cost them their lives.
We will grieve for them. But it could not have been avoided. It was their duty and honor to fight beside you. They were all aware of your limits.
Emperor!
Keep those feelings of frustration close to you. It will help you to remember the debt you owe to those that have fallen.
Your Majesty, concerning such debts, there were others who aided me.
The Homs and Nopon that accompanied you to the capital, they have been arrested by Imperial security.
But why?
Shulk and his companions.
Yes, for reasons pertaining to the weapon this Shulk possesses.
Shulk's weapon? Do you mean the Monado?
So it is true. If that weapon is truly the Monado, we shall be forced to take action.
Why?
Yes, please explain.
There is a legend, passed down through the generations, of a divine weapon, the Monado. It is said that the Bionis itself bestows the blade upon a chosen one. However, if the chosen one is black of heart, he will cause the destruction of the High Entia.
Among High Entia exist the good and bad alike. Homs and Nopon are no different. If this boy is the chosen one.
The Divine Seer's interrogation will reveal where his allegiances lie.
So you intend to keep them confined?
We must.
Father, Your Majesty. I assure you, Shulk is of pure heart.
As my successor, you will play a role of great importance. Calm your spirit and be patient.
Dear sister, I can see the Emperor's words have confused you.
Brother.
His Majesty has spoken. He recognizes you as the Crown Princess. You are to be the next ruler of the High Entia.
Me? And not you?
Yes. The Emperor asked for my counsel, and I told him as I tell you now. You will make a fine Empress. There is no one more suited to leading our people. You proved that when you dispatched the Telephia.
I don't know what to...
Melia.
But the soldiers. I am not fit to rule. I should visit their families and beg for pardon.
Melia, you know that this is not allowed.
I know. But it does nothing for the guilt I feel.
It is as the Emperor said. Grieve their departing, and engrave in your heart their great deeds.
I will.
You are right to question these things, but take pride in who you are. The Emperor has chosen wisely in you, Melia.
I am to be Crown Princess.
Yes, you are. The Ministries of Research and Records are united in support of His Majesty's decision. I, Minister Lorithia, have no objection to your appointment.
I understand.
I would never openly question our Divine Emperor. But the wielder of the Monado, the Chosen One, might be a useful tool.
You think so too?
Yes, but a lowly servant of the realm such as myself could never question His Majesty. However, If the divine seer were to intervene,
The seer could free Shulk.
they should be exchanging words as we speak.
Well, Eryth definitely doesn't look like an evil witch who wants to destroy all of humanity.
Idiot bird brains. What do we do?
Break out a deck of cards, play some solitaire.
Prison is still a prison.
What happened to Melia? I don't see her locked up in here with us.
Exactly. She's in on this.
Shulk, any thoughts here?
Melia won't let us down. She promised to take us to Prison Island. And she's not the kind of person to break a promise.
At least not intentionally.
Okay, Shulk. You win. I believe you. If you believe Melia, then no arguments from me.
Anyway, welcome to the White Wing Palace, aka the prison of which Shulk and friends are currently sitting in.
What's up?
So, in order to move on, all we have to do is just talk to everyone.
Yeah?
A lot of bird people are wearing masks around here, which is kind of concerning. Could it be that they're a part of a cult or something?
Yes.
Who knows? Well, regardless though, we're in some deep shit. All because of the Monado.
You are to be interrogated by the divine seer. Stand back.
Hello, Alvis. Good to see you again.
Alvis? What are you doing here?
I see. So that is why you are here.
Is Melia okay? We didn't mean to cause her any trouble.
Rest assured, she is fine. The real reason you have been detained is not because you are outsiders.
You don't mean...
Yes. The Monado. You see, the High Entia and the Monado go back many years. Millennia, in fact.
Ah.
Leave everything to me. I shall see to it that you are not held for long. We cannot have the saviors of Her Highness treated as criminals now, can we? Free these people. I shall take responsibility for their actions whilst inside the capital. They are now guests of the Imperial family.
Sir.
I am required to report to His Majesty. Otherwise, I would escort you around the capital. Use this room at your leisure. You are free to roam the city or stay here and rest. Farewell.
Okay. Well, thanks,
Hold on,
Alvis.
Alvis. I need to ask you...
Be patient. I know what it is you wish to ask. Do not fear. You will learn when the time is right.
The life of the rich. So where are we going?
Anywhere but here. I'm bored of this stuffy room.
Okay then.
Ricky, find Melia for Shulk.
Ricky, wait.
Your Eminence.
What God want?
If you're after Alvis, he's gone.
What? Where did he go?
What happened?
We received an SOS from a small squadron repairing a transporter at Eryth Sea. But the transmission was interrupted, and we have lost all contact with the squadron.
Sounds like they need our help.
Shulk and Ricky go help. Ricky and friends help people in trouble.
Of course. We're happy to help.
But you're outsiders.
Soldier man, not worry. Hereupon Ricky is here to save the day.
It is most appreciated. We need all the help we can get.
Okay. Well, that seems like a pretty self-explanatory task. So anyway, it seems like some workers are having a bit of a scuffle, if you know what I mean. So, before we head on out to help these people, these fine, fine bird people,
Welcome.
I think it's a good idea to explore Alcamoth now, as opposed to waiting until much later. Trust me. One other thing I will mention here is that each and every side quest of which these people of Alcamoth have, they're all timed quests. And there's a very good story reason as to why they're marked as such. I'm not going to be going into those kinds of details here, for obvious reasons. Not until we get to that point. But as of right now, if you're going to be doing any quests for the people of Alcamoth, take care of it now. Or take care of it as soon as you can before you get too far into the story. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of really good stuff. And also you'll also miss out on possibly learning some additional pieces of history with Alcamoth itself, if you know what I mean. Just saying.
What is it?
Welcome.
Okay, I think I've already talked to him. Okay. And one other thing worth pointing out as well.
Welcome.
As soon as you see a named NPC, talk to them, add them to your affinity chart. You never know. You might run into some trouble if you don't. Just saying.
Welcome.
Also, it appears that if you talk to certain NPCs and then talk to another one, you will be able to start certain quests. So again, that is something to keep in mind. Also, apologies if I keep scrolling through the text too quickly. Again, it's a bit of a problem of mine where I basically know the gist of a lot of these quests since I took care of so many during my first run of this game. And again, just scrolling through and trying to get them started as soon as possible it's a bit of a task. Ooh, we don't need to go any further. We should go back. Well, that's interesting. What's also interesting is that you also can't use the teleporter at the very back of this room to head up to the throne room, or more or less the audience chamber. Not just yet. And again, there is a reason to this. And it's simply due to the fact that even though Shulk and friends have been pardoned thanks to the seer Alvis, it doesn't mean that he is necessarily a free man. Plus, we have some work to take care of on our own.
Yes?
So one thing I will mention here is, even though we're getting ready to head out to Prison Island, which probably won't be for a while yet. Hell, I don't even know if we're going to even reach said place in this session or not. Well, regardless though, there is still a lot of things we need to get done around here. And it is something I am going to be taking care of as soon as possible. For sure.
Me.
Because again, you only have a little bit of time before certain events occur that make Alcamoth a less than desirable place to be at. And you'll know what I mean when we get to that point. Although it isn't going to be for quite a while yet, I would still recommend taking care of these quests here in Alcamoth as soon as you possibly can.
Me?
Sheesh. What a jerk. Am I right? One thing I will mention here is that exploring Alcamoth itself and just taking a moment to listen to the music for this game and really Alcamoth in general, especially the remastered tracks. Good lord, it is quite eerie, but at the same time, kind of serene. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It just feels mysterious and ancient, which makes sense considering that the High Entia are the oldest of species that exist here on Bionis. So, essentially, the High Entia existed well before any other species on this whole frickin' planet. How? You'll find out soon enough, as we progress through the game. I will say this, a lot of these people have a lot of different material gathering quests, and let me tell you, it's quite a bit of a task trying to get your hands on everything that you need. Especially if you can't see the person who you're trying to speak to complete the quest. Well, whatever. It's no big deal. Okay, can we please just move? So, one other thing I will mention here is that Alcamoth is divided into two levels, kind of. Well, technically it's more than 2 levels, but you basically get the idea. The first 2 levels are basically the Citizen District, while the remaining levels are more or less the Imperial Palace. And funny enough, when it comes to the Imperial Palace, there's not too many people who can actually go there. At least according to the game's lore. I think Shulk and friends are the exceptions to the rule. And the reason for this is because, again, they're friends with Melia, who is of a royal heritage, if you couldn't tell. It may seem like Melia is just a random person whom we just met. And hell, at first, she's supposed to act like a Hums, but judging solely by her demeanor and the way she speaks, pretty sure she's royalty, if you know what I mean. A royal princess. Also, that heart-to-heart only can be activated if Melia is in the active party. And considering that Melia has her own issues to deal with, we have no choice but to ignore that heart-to-heart for now. It sucks, I know, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal, but even so, it's kind of annoying. There is another thing worth mentioning here, and that is, I'm pretty sure that most quests that involve Alcamoth, all of them are timed. In other words, they are only available for a limited time before they vanish. And again, this is due to story reasons. One more thing I will mention here is that there aren't too many fast travel points in Alcamoth. There are a couple, don't get me wrong, but there really aren't too many fast travel points that are considered convenient. Why that is, I'm honestly not too sure. I mean, Alcamoth itself isn't too big of a place. But, again, the problem is the fact that There's just a lot of open space when it comes to Alcamoth.
Hey.
Hello there.
How's things?
Looks like someone is a lover. Someone's in love with someone else. That's interesting. Okay.
Are you that?
Alright. That shouldn't be too hard of a task to take care of. Also, I do know there is a fast travel point around here. As far as where it's marked, I think it's right over here at this obelisk. And no, it's not a tormentor. Where the hell did that come from? Say hello to the Fountain of Eternity. One other thing I will mention here is there are collectibles here for your Collectopedia, and thankfully there aren't too many things to add to your Collectopedia, which is pretty nice. But even so, getting your hands on everything for the Collectopedia can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But again, as I've mentioned before, I've already completed my Collectopedia, so collecting these things, there's not too much of a reason to do so, except for side quests, as some side quests will require you to collect some of these things for NPCs, aka quest givers, if you know what I mean. Also, I wasn't sure, but I feel as though you're not allowed to fast travel. Perhaps I'm wrong, but it is what it is.
Yes?
Wow. Gotta love that nerfed jump height sometimes, am I right? Looks like we got a problem over here. What seems to be going on? So, those two women who are in love with the same person, looks like that person is you. Alright. Thankfully, this particular quest isn't too difficult. And hell, it's not even that time-consuming. All we really need to do is just speak to the right individuals. Which, again, is not too difficult. Also, hello, Shawaria. Welcome to the stream. Glad you were able to make it. Anyway, let's talk to you. Oh. That's interesting.
Hey.
That makes perfect sense.
Come and see.
Huh. Interesting.
Are you that?
You're welcome. Glad everything worked out. I'm pretty sure he'll have another quest immediately after completing this one. Which, again, is one of those things where you just go from point A to point B, speak to NPC C, and then D, and then return to NPC A. Huh. Interesting. What a conundrum indeed. Alright, sure. So for this one, this particular quest here, you have a choice of who you can speak to. You can speak to either one of these girls and then just complete the quest that way. As far as who I went with the first time, I'm honestly not too sure. I can't remember, but I'll just speak to you because you're closer.
How's things?
Actually, no, I guess I was wrong. I think you have to speak to both of these women. I will say this. At least a lot of the quests around here aren't too taxing, and you just simply go from point A to point B most of the time. Or, at the very least, you just beat some monsters up at Eryth Sea. That's neat. And, of course, he has another quest available. Yeah, that is definitely a real problem. Don't know what you should write. Funny enough, Ryan is right in this regard. You really should just write down how you feel and just express yourself without sugarcoating it. You really should. Okay. Thankfully, this is the last quest that this guy has available for you. And thankfully, this isn't too hard. Again, it's one of those quests where you can literally just complete it with your eyes closed. Okay, no. But, like I said, a lot of these quests you just go from point A to point B and just give the things to NPC A, NPC B, etc. Thankfully, with this version of the game, this definitely makes things a hell of a lot easier with the NPCs being marked on your map and everything. And if they're not around, then all you have to do is just change the time until the map says they're there. Well, this is definitely a conundrum. Better report in. See what he has to say.
Are you that?
Alright. I mean, I'm not really sure how I feel about this whole thing here, but as long as everyone's still happy together, then I suppose it doesn't really matter, so long as they can stay friends to the very end. So one thing I will mention here is, around certain time frames, NPCs, instead of returning to a particular spawn point, they will instead head towards a teleporter and just teleport away. One thing I will mention about these teleporters is that, unlike a lot of the teleporters around here, you can't use those teleporters yourself. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to figure out which ones you can and can't use just by looking at the teleporters. The ones you can use are green, and the ones you can't use are marked red. I think the reason why this is the way it is because the red ones are only registered for the citizens of Alcamoth, while the green ones are more or less made for general use, maybe? That's my guess. Perhaps it's something like that. And what's really interesting is that not only are the High Entia residents here, but you may also find some Nopon roaming around here in Alcamoth who... Yeah. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, besides the High Entia, you might find some Nopon who also live here. Which is pretty interesting. What also would be kind of interesting if you would see some Homs living here too, but I don't really know how the High Entia feel about the Homs as a race living here. So, it could be possible that no Homs will ever set foot in this place besides Shulk and friends. But, who knows? I can't really say for sure if that's really the case or not. Well, you have to... You need a drink? Wow. Don't be drinking too much now. That's interesting. Dunban used to be a drinker. And that would make perfect sense. Alcohol, if consumed far too much, is really bad for you. And every once in a while, it might be okay, but don't make a habit out of it, if that isn't obvious. Believe me. The last thing you want to do is drink too much and become dependent on said drink.
Well,
alright, here you go. I guess we'll get this quest started. So as far as that quest is concerned, this person is telling us that there is a monster that only spawns at night when there is a certain weather condition. And funny enough, this weather condition, it's one of those things where you kind of have to change the time around nighttime in order to get the proper time and the proper weather. Okay. It shouldn't be too hard to find this silver ring for you. Okay. It's on the upper level, as I thought. And before we head on up to the upper level again... Okay, not there. It's over here. Did I speak to you over here? I think I have, but just in case. Okay. Like I said, sometimes if you're unsure if you've spoken to an NPC before, or more or less a named NPC, don't be afraid to speak to them again. It might be a bit of a waste of time, sure, but better to be safe than sorry. Am I right? Let's see what you have for sale, little dude. Anything of importance here? That looks like a big fat no. Okay. I was thinking that maybe he would sell something that I don't already have. And again, one very nice thing about item management is, even though there's a cap of how many items you can hold, it is divided into categories such as armor pieces, arm plates, boots, helmets, etc. And I believe the item limit is the same regardless. So that's pretty nice. One funny thing worth mentioning here is, I believe in the original Xenoblade Chronicles, it was actually faster to jump around like a rabbit a lot. Then again, maybe I'm just insane in thinking that, but I can't really say for sure. I'm pretty sure I saw a named NPC over here. Then again, maybe they just vanished because the time passed? Who knows? I mean, I can always rewind time back to 4 AM just to see. That might not be a bad idea, now that I think about it. Okay. Let's take a look over here and see what we can find. Sweet. Glad that's taken care of. One pretty funny thing is that even though you can technically fast travel to the Ascension Hall, you can't really go inside said hall. Dumb, I know, but it is what it is.
Yes?
At least not yet. Okay, this shouldn't be too difficult. Kill some targets and then get some sweet bangage. I don't even know what the hell I was saying, but
what is it?
Regardless though, we just have to kill some things and then we'll be done with that. Okay. Okay, so in order to progress and progress the story, what we need to do, I believe, is to fast travel here towards the lighthouse. Afterwards, we'll get targeted by a monster and then get smacked. JK. Bye-bye. That was kind of annoying. But, oh well, it is what it is.
Yes?
Finally came to fix the teleporter. Okay. So what he's saying is that the person or the maintenance person who was supposed to fix the teleporter, they were supposed to fix it, but ended up getting chased by some monsters, and they're somewhere else, which is rather unfortunate.
Hey.
Okay, here you go. Here's your stuff. Which is kind of funny, as I barely had the enough of the first item, which is kind of funny. But it is what it is. At least the deed is finally done for her. Now let's see what you have next. Still don't have too many things. Alright, that shouldn't be too much of a problem though. Also, one other thing I will mention here is don't jump off the lighthouse after you take the teleporter, because that would mean you will instantly die upon impact. And trust me, that's not fun.
What is it?
Whoops. Apologies for scrolling through the text too quickly again. But he's basically saying there's some monsters wreaking havoc, and we need to take care of all these monsters for him. Again, not too crazy or difficult at this point in time. We just gotta find the things and then beat them up. Beat them to a bloody pulp. Speaking of beating things to a bloody pulp... I don't even know where I was going with that. Well, regardless though, we do have some lighthouse keepers or some maintenance people to save. But, of course, before we can even get to said thing, we kind of need to snipe down some birds. Bye. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, are you... I thought for sure that bird was going to target me. It's kind of funny if you think about it. I just have that kind of luck where I either run past the enemy and I end up getting targeted, or I target the enemy and then they just decide that, oh, I just want to leave him alone now. Let's see here. It looks like this particular enemy's spike is one that will lower your physical defense and also lowers your agility, I think. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure that is the case.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard. I'm not too partial to these. This won't take long.
There is one other thing I will mention here, and can't believe I haven't even mentioned this yet, but this thing I'm talking about here is after battles, the entire party's HP will regenerate over time. Thankfully, it regenerates pretty damn quickly. It really does. It's kind of baffling to see how fast you can restore your strength. Just keep in mind, though, that restoring the party's HP is not instantaneous. Okay. Now then, let us proceed. Hello there. Looks like we got a bit of a party going on over here. Thankfully, this shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. Get dumped on. And everyone is dead. Now that is what I call a swift victory. That is really awesome to see. Okay. Alrighty.
Are you that?
You okay, buddy? Thanks, I thought I was a goner there. Things could have turned out really nasty if you hadn't come. I'm off to fix the transporter now. See you around. Okay, cool. Glad that's taken care of. Transporter is now fixed.
And that is the extent of my discussions with the Homs that accompanied Melia here.
I still cannot believe it. How could a Telephia have grown to such power?
And what is your conclusion, seer?
That the Telephia were able to gain such power due to the high levels of ether in the region. In other words, our ether protection is weakening.
And so it begins. The resurrection of the Bionis. What of the Monado?
I cannot see. My sight is hindered. However...
Speak, seer.
It is not certain that the Monado will bring about our destruction. While my sight is hindered, I have seen a slither of light. Is your Majesty not aware of this light as well?
Are you referring to Melia?
And the young man, Shulk.
Could it be that the boy is trustworthy after all? Kallian, we are on the cusp of a significant moment. The investiture ceremony must take place as soon as possible.
Your Majesty, since the ministries are already in agreement, we may be able to bypass some of the formalities.
Indeed. But she must still earn the blessing of the people.
Might I suggest the trial of the tomb?
First Consort, such a ritual has not been conducted for generations.
We have simply not had a need for it until now. And I feel she is more than equal to the challenge.
Mother, the tomb is dangerous. Our records show that many potential successors lost their lives performing the ritual.
That child fought and beat the Telephia. It is my belief that she is more than strong enough. Besides, if it was revealed that she avoided such a responsibility, her reputation among the people would be irreparably damaged.
I must protest.
No. The First Consort is right. There is much risk, but the rewards are greater. It would seal the people's love for her. Summon Melia. Her thoughts must be heard.
Are you sure that this is such a good idea?
I accept.
Well, that was easy enough.
If I am to lead the High Entia despite my mixed heritage, if I am to succeed the throne, then I accept what must be done.
I expect nothing less of my successor. The path to greatness is fraught with danger. This shall be your statement to Bionis.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You are not fit to be Empress. Not now, not ever.
Well, it seems that the seer can read minds. And what that first consort just said, oof. Oh dear.
Oh, looks like we got them out of a scrape.
Shulk, Ricky tired. Ricky's sleeping castle now.
Good idea. Let's head back to the capital.
The sooner the better.
I mean, if you really think that's a good idea, there's no harm in returning to the palace, that's for sure. However, before we head back, there are some things I kind of want to take care of, first and foremost.
Everyone, let's go! Leave it to right. Make it a swift victory. Come on, we're to the edge. Don't rush. Good job, everyone.
There we are. Nicely done.
Who else wants some?
Alright, come over here. I want to get you away from that elemental before we engage in a duel to the death. I mean, don't get me wrong. I may be strong, but I'm not say He-Man right now. If that wasn't freaking obvious.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Bye. Sweet. A dark cannon. I already got one of those. And one that actually has 3 slots as opposed to 2. Or 1. Then again, maybe I don't. I can't remember. Regardless, it's not exactly a weapon I currently have equipped for Sharla for obvious reasons.
It's over.
Also, funny enough, the sturdy armor that we're picking up, not only is it a quest item, but it's also going to be an item needed for the reconstruction of Colony 6. As far as when, though, I think that's a later level. Also, I figured while I'm over here, I might as well take care of a couple of quests and get them done and out the way. And also, because the teleporter being fixed now over towards the lighthouse, might as well use this time to explore a little bit more. But don't worry, I will be returning to Alcamoth and progressing through the story. Just give me a little bit of time. Not sure why I said it like that, but hopefully you catch my drift. It is kind of interesting to see that these elemental nebulas are just floating around and just being like, "Hi, how y'all doing? You dare attack me, your ass is mine. Your ass is grass. Know what I mean, boys?" Welcome to the Hovering Reef 7. As you can see, this place, it can be kind of dangerous depending on how you approach it. Okay. Well, it was nice to see that the elemental decided to not fight us, which was pretty sweet. Although I think if it did fight us, we would have definitely been in a load of trouble. For sure.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard. This won't take long. I don't have time for small fry. The time has come. Prepare for a clean attack. We're gonna knock your block off. Let's keep up. We win.
Oh yeah.
I see this isn't pushing you at all. Who else wants some?
By the way, you may be wondering, why is it that I didn't pick up that staff there and I decided to leave it? Well, simply put, because of the fact that it didn't have any gem slots, I didn't think it would be worth my time. It would be different if I didn't have any, but since I already had one, I figured that it was pretty important that I picked that up. Alright. Let's get to work. Nice. Funny enough, when it comes to the chain attack, depending on your timing and the affinity between everyone, the amount of times you can extend a chain attack is 15 times in a row. Obviously, if you want to extend the chain attack for as long as possible, you do need max affinity with everyone. But even if you don't have max affinity, that doesn't mean that you're going to be out of luck when it comes to that. There we are.
Man, what a bunch of jokers. Right, let's do this.
Okay.
Don't hold back. Take this.
Time to smack some birds upside the head. Obviously, I'm using the wrong terminology again, but again, no big deal. One thing I find kind of interesting is that when it comes to the elemental enemies, I'm pretty sure they're immune to the break status effect, but they can still technically be toppled. How? I have no goddamn clue. Regardless, though, it is a bit of an oddity that exists, and I just don't understand why that is. Even so, it is a benefit to me, because if you knock them down a pit or something, you'll insta-kill them, which is awesome. Anyway, I do know that there are some other enemies around here. Or, at the very least, some other things to take care of. Now that I think about it, looking at the exclamation dots on the map, I think in order to get to them, I do have to take a series of teleporters. What's also really interesting is around here, this is a pretty important landmark. Be sure to keep this in mind for later on down the line. As far as how much later, it won't be too much later, I can guarantee you that.
Let's do this. Let me at him. Don't hold back.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
Another monster quest down.
It's over. Man, what a bunch of jokers.
But we mustn't be careless.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
I'm not too partial to these.
This won't take long.
There we go.
Let's press on.
Who else wants some?
Good to see we have another thing of sturdy armor.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Thankfully, when it comes to the sturdy armor drops, these machines, they have a very high chance of dropping the sturdy armor. Like, how high of a chance? I'm going to guess roughly 80%. Might be more, might be less. I can't say for sure. I don't really know the absolute fact, because... okay, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying anymore. Regardless, though, if you're looking for sturdy armor, you should be able to find it without too much of a problem.
But we mustn't be careless.
Okay. Excuse me. Now then, let's check out this teleporter over here and see where this takes us. This looks important. Sonatar Sealed Island. Funny enough, a lot of enemies around here are of a fairly decent level. This thing right here, for example, is a level 40 enemy, surrounded by a couple of level 39s as well, so this is going to be quite fun to deal with. So, one thing worth mentioning here is that this thing has a pretty nasty spike. As far as what this spike is, from what I can tell, I think it's a damage spike. And funny enough, this spike only activates when the enemy is toppled over. So as far as toppling it over is concerned, that might not be the best of ideas. Although, one thing I will mention here is, at the very least, I don't think that you can die due to spike damage. But there are still some things that can kill you, such as being hit by basically anything else. Spike damage is still very dangerous. So that's something to keep in mind.
We can't lose. Don't hold back. Let me at him. All together now.
Goodbye.
Let's not lose our heads lose! Don't hold back! Leave it to right!
Get smacked. Nice to see that we managed to clear another monster quest. Like I always say, it's always efficient to try to complete as many quests as possible. Mainly, it's due to the fact that it gives you a ton of money. Experience, and also some really nice gear, especially if you're short on cash. As getting that gear for free is really another fun activity that you can choose to do. There we are. Nice to see that everyone's up to level 41 now. Well, okay, maybe not everyone per se, but still. And it's also nice to see that a lot of the quest enemies whom we have to fight, they're all in the same place, which makes things so much more efficient. Get smacked. No, I want to grab it. What's also really nice, when you're going after certain quests, you might end up stumbling across some other quests at the same exact time, and may even be able to kill two birds with one stone by completing multiple quests at the same time. Get smacked. Sweet. Time to get to work. There is one other thing I will mention here, is that certain groups of enemies of the same species, they may try to perform a chain attack of their own on ya. And if that happens, oh boy, you're gonna be in the world of hurt. However, if you're quick and you're able to dispatch of at least one enemy within the group, the chances of them executing a chain attack on you drop considerably. So that's pretty nice. Okay. Hang on. I thought I saw a... Aha! I did see a exclamation mark. You know what that means? There's another quest out here. As far as where this is, I will say this. Every single quest that you can find around Eryth Sea are always on the islands themselves, if not within Alcamoth. They're never anywhere down below, as far as I know. So that's something worth mentioning. One thing I definitely noticed is that the weather around here, it ranges between sunshine and rain most of the time. So again, be careful traversing around here during the rainstorm, as that's when the super powerful elemental enemies will come around. And if they decide to pick a fight with you, oh dear, your ass is grass.
Totally! Don't get cocky. Stay focused. Stay sharp. Yes, sir!
Okay. Well, glad that quest was taken care of along the way. Welcome to the Ether Plant. It may seem like this area is kind of insignificant, but there's more to this place than meets the eye, simply due to the fact that there are certain NPCs around here who will give you some pretty important quests. And I would recommend taking them on as soon as you can. It's also kind of interesting that there are some High Entia out here, of all places. I don't think very many of them are out in random fields, but even so, it's still fairly important to take a look around as much as you can. And funny enough, this particular person has several different quests that you can choose to take on. And I'm pretty sure those quests can be completed in any order that you see fit. But keep in mind, though, that it might take a bit of time before you are able to complete the quests. Let's see, is there a heart-to-heart down here? No, I guess not. Wow, that was kind of lame. Jumping down for no reason, yay. Okay then. Also, I'm pretty sure that fast traveling has a bit of a weird effect on Oh, hello. Well, looky here. As you can see, this weather condition that sometimes appears here at night, and only at night, is a shooting star, or a meteor shower, technically. And let me tell you, it really is a beautiful sight. Just taking the time to look around and just see all the stars that are just raining down from the sky. What on my honest makes this miracle is anyone's guess. Perhaps it's more than that. Who knows? Anywho, I believe there is a quest that involves you, you fighting a certain monster that only appears during a meteor shower. As far as where this thing is, though, I'm not too sure. I mean, it doesn't hurt to take a look at the map to figure out where the heck this thing is. There we are.
Let's press on. Good thing I'm here. No? Anyone?
Okay. Just wanted to be sure that wasn't a hole, because you know how sometimes the environment can be kind of deceiving with its looks. Katoral Seal Island. Again, this is another fairly important location, and also one worth keeping in mind for later. As far as how much later, though, that's kind of one of nature's mysteries, maybe? Who knows? I'm also pretty sure there are some unique monsters around here. Though I think they only appear at during the daytime. Though I can't really say 100% certainly. Doomsday Poppy. How cute.
Everyone, let's go. Let me at him. Don't hold back.
Come here. Come here, little boy. Daddy wants to play with you.
Man, what a bunch of jokers.
Come here. Ooh, Monado Eater. Funny enough, that particular Monado art is very situational, and I would not consider that to be the most useful Monado art out there. And when it comes to that particular Monado art, that is another one of those arts that are only awarded during a side quest. And that particular side quest of which awards you that particular ability, it doesn't come into play until much later in the game. Ooh, that guy Grinch. Thanks so much for the host, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Let's see what we got. Pretty decent drop, all things considered.
We can't lose! Leave it to Ryan! Leave this to me! I'm feeling it! Thank you, Duncan. Take this! Prepare for a chain attack! We're gonna knock your block off! You never
Yeah.
had a chance.
Get smacked.
No? Anyone?
Alright, who's next on the chopping block?
I hate these things. Make it a swift victory. Let's final push. We can definitely do this.
There we are.
Around, there ain't no stopping us. Totally. Don't get cocky. Stay focused. Stay sharp. Yes, sir. The enemy's weak. But don't drop your guard.
Let's finish these guys nice and quickly. There we go. Okay, why am I saying those repeated phrases again and again? Nice.
Who else wants some?
Still not what I'm looking for, though. That's kind of disappointing. Let me guess, nothing? Yeah. That's kind of lame. Oh well, at least we managed to get some things needed. So, that's pretty nice. Okay. Let's head back to Alcamoth for now. Might as well. And we'll see where we need to go to next. Thankfully, when we return here... Oops. Returning here really isn't that taxing.
Yes?
It is a little bit of a trip, but it's worth it.
Everyone's gathered outside.
How come we didn't get invited?
It looks like some kind of ceremony.
My loyal and beloved subjects, Saurian Antiqua speaks. I have been your emperor for little more than 20 years. But today, I stand before you in celebration.
So that's the High Entia Emperor, Saurian Antiqua.
I will remain your emperor for years to come. But now is the time to announce my successor. May I introduce your crown princess?
And there's the lady herself.
Melia Antiqua.
It's her.
But why the mask?
She's a princess. Took you long enough.
Her silver spoon accent was a clue. But royalty?
My daughter, Melia Antiqua, will depart immediately to face the tomb. She will seek the approval of our ancestors and become your crown princess.
Oh boy, here we go again.
The people are fickle. No mask can hide that girl's contaminated blood.
First Consort, all the pieces are in place. Say the word and the captive Homs shall be no more.
The savage who discovers fire remains a savage. Disappointed or not, His Highness will turn a blind eye to their fate. And their removal will deprive Melia of some powerful allies.
As you say.
Mother?
We continue to endure the contamination of our bloodline by perpetuating this wretched tradition of a High Entia first consort and a Hom second consort. For how long must I suffer these Homs? Do your duty, Tyrea.
As you wish.
That mask.
Looks like some trouble is brewing.
Melia.
I don't doubt that was Melia. But why the mask?
I don't know. But she's different from the other High Entia.
How do you mean?
Melie not like other bird people. Melie like hom friends.
You might be right. But there are things at play here we can't understand.
Wait a minute! Oi! You'll give a Homs a heart attack shouting like that?
We've got no time to lose. Melia needs our help.
Again? You had another vision, didn't you?
What did you see?
Out with it already!
Oh boy.
Excuse me. We ordered room service an hour ago.
Nice burn done, man. Seriously? I thought we were all happy. Bleh. I thought we were all on friendly terms here, but apparently not. Say hello to the Wizard Entia. Which, technically speaking, these particular High Entia people, they're technically supposed to be a very secret society and highly trained in the art of stealth, though as far as their approach is concerned, leaves a lot to be desired.
Who are these guys?
Shulk. These are Inquisitors.
What is this?
More of them!
Wait. This is His Highness Callian, brother to Her Highness Melia.
Melia's brother?
Do not concern yourself, Your Highness. The matter appears to have been resolved.
Seer Alvis?
I foresaw the danger. I rushed here, but seem to have missed the fun.
They do not look like mere thieves.
I am presuming they are Inquisitors of the Bionite Order. A group of assassins long devoted to the Imperial family.
Ridiculous. The Bionite Order are a mere...
myth. The Order existed before records began. I, like many others, believed they had long since died out. Yet here they are before us.
Is Father aware of this?
I suspect he knows very little. He may not even be aware of their existence. They live amongst the shadows, never revealing their true faces.
But that does not explain why they would attack these people. Wait, could that have been... No, there's no way.
Callian, Melia is in danger. She'll be killed at an altar if we don't find her soon.
Killed? How can you be so sure?
Shulk and I share the same gift.
Another seer? Which would mean that you can see the future?
That's why we have to find her. Now.
Your Highness, as agreed, you will face the ritual below.
I thank you for escorting me.
we wish you a safe return. As history has proven, all those who stake claim to the throne without merit will spend eternity as fallen spirits.
I must prove my worth as the next ruler, and I am no less prepared to sacrifice my life than those that have fallen before me.
Most wise, Your Highness. Watch your back, Your Highness.
Funny enough, in that scene, Melia is supposed to be wearing the mask from that ceremony earlier, but because this is New Game Plus and your costumes carry over from playthrough to playthrough, this isn't the case.
Unacceptable. Those who enter the tomb must do so alone. Her life, or death, is in the hands of fate. Those not worthy of the throne are exactly that.
You can't seriously think that. This is your sister. This is Melia.
Easy, Rhine.
But Dunban...
This ritual holds a special significance. It is wrong for us to interfere.
I don't like it.
But am I right in saying that the rules of this ritual affect only High Entia? And if some strange Homs happen to get involved, it wouldn't cause a problem? Or is there some rule that prohibits Homs from entering the tomb?
No, I suppose not.
Then look at it this way. I don't need to know how big a deal this ritual is to your people. What I do know is that your sister's life is at stake. Cut us a break, and we'll save her.
Who are you?
My name is Dunban. I'm sort of the protector of this Mekon-bashing band of Homs.
Dunban. I know you. At the Battle of Sword Valley, you held back an entire wave of Mekon with the Monado.
You know a lot about a battle you never showed up to.
My apologies. We do not concern ourselves with the wars of others, be it against the Mekon or otherwise.
I was only joking. You had your reasons. I can see that with all these defense systems, you don't really need to fight.
Then it is decided. You can reach the tomb by transporter from the center gate. Her Highness has already entered. Shulk, you should hurry.
Gotta love Dunban being the diplomatic man of, I'm not even sure how to describe it. But regardless, though, Dunban is the man. That's all there is to it. So anyway, time to head on off to save Melia before she becomes food for the frickin' Telephia, which was seen in Shulk's vision. And let me tell you, that's not exactly fun, now is it? Being eaten by something. Okay, this is interesting. There's definitely a lot of quests that are showing up now. Might be a good idea to get these done and out the way. Or at the very least, get them started. Oh, this is pretty interesting. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. So, for this particular quest right here, it appears that this little guy just doesn't want to go outside. And that is a perfectly logical reason. There are definitely some very powerful monsters out there that will want to eat little guys like him. That makes sense. So, in order to convince him that the outside world isn't so bad, what we need to do is gather a few things to help ward off potential monsters, if you know what I mean. Again, these things shouldn't be too difficult to get our hands on, but we do have some other things to take care of first and foremost. That is getting some more quests started. And let me tell you folks, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's so many quests here. It's almost enough to make one's head spin like a freaking record player, if you know what I mean. Regardless, though, it's pretty important to get as many of these quests started as possible, just so that way, while we're taking care of some story stuff, we can also maybe take care of a few quests on the side, too. Plus, doing all these quests will allow us to add even more people to our affinity chart. And also raise the reputation of this place quite a lot. And trust me, raising the reputation of this place, it is pretty important. There you go, here's your stuff. Well done. Next. One thing I will say is that at this point in the game, a lot of these people who are giving out these quests do have some pretty sweet rewards to hand out to you if you manage to finish the quest. Mainly it's a lot of gold, but even so, the rewards are still worth it in my eyes. Some people may not see gold as worth it, but trust me, it really is. As some of the stuff that you can buy in this game from the different shops are pretty damn expensive. And when I say expensive, I mean really expensive. It may seem like it's not that bad buying one thing for one person, but the cost adds up quick. Considering that a lot of the equipment that you can buy, you have to buy them for multiple people. Honestly, you really should keep in mind that you're buying equipment for 6 different people.
What is it?
Oh dear. That is quite the problem indeed. Although, you really should be the one who should be looking for your son yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong, asking for help to find your kid isn't that bad. It really isn't. In fact, it's a pretty good idea, but you should also be looking for your kid at the same exact time. So, again, nothing too crazy. Okay, that wasn't a very hard quest. In fact, it's really damn easy. You just walk to where the kid is, and there he is. Thankfully, he wasn't that far off.
What is it?
Okay, all done with that.
What is it?
What do you got for us this time? Oh. Your daughter's gone missing, eh? Alright. Finding your daughter shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, your son was pretty easy to find. I assume that the daughter will also be just as easy. If not even easier, but we'll see. And funny enough, it looks like he's heading off to the teleporter. But I think if you start the quest at the very least, then the kids will stick around so long as you haven't found them yet. Alright, see you later, kid. So anyway, before we continue, I figure I'd rewind time just a little bit, just so that way we can finish up this particular quest right here.
What is it?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Nice strength up 4 gem. At least it'll be something nice for me to sell later down the line. Let's see. Anything up here? Yes, most definitely. Several quests to be exact. Like how many? I'd say 7?
What is it?
From what I can count so far. Alright, here you go. Here's your stuff right here. Next.
How's things?
Oh, you've been ordered to do something. Oh. I mean, that makes sense, considering the fact that you did just start your training. And beating up some powerful monsters during your first day, not exactly something you'd want to do unless you technically lied on your resume saying you can do something in which you're not supposed to be able to do, or which you can't do. Like, for example, pretend that you were a network administrator when in actuality you weren't at all, and you have no experience in that field. And what's even more damning is if people catch you lying on your resume, oh dear, that is like a literal death sentence of any job ever. Just saying. It's not exactly fun. It's not like I have experience of doing something like that, but it's just from what I've heard over the grapevine. And like I always say, honesty is always the best policy. Even if you don't get the dream job you want, there's always another chance that you'll be able to get it another time. May not be that day, but it might be later if you work hard enough. Just saying. Sometimes they're looking for people for more experience, who have more experience versus what you currently offer. So, moral of the story is, keep at it. You'll get what you're looking for eventually. It may not happen the same day that you're looking to get it, but it will happen eventually if you press on. Okay, I don't know what the heck it is I'm pushing. Oops. One thing I will say about navigating through Alcamoth, other than the fact that there aren't too many fast travel points, is that just navigating, trying to get from point to point, and trying to start certain quests, it can be a bit daunting, and a bit tedious. I'm not really sure how else to describe it, or if that's even the right word to describe it, but even so, it can be a bit of a pain going from place to place within Alcamoth. But at least the world isn't on fire. At least not yet. Okay, no. I don't think that happens, but I'm just saying though.
Me.
Okay, what do you have for us today? Alright, that won't be too difficult. What's also pretty interesting is that you may encounter some NPCs that will ask you to get items from the High Entia tomb. Though I think those people only emerge after the events of the High Entia tomb. Though I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you about certain things beforehand. Though I don't exactly remember for sure.
What is it?
Looks like we got some more monster quests. Great. Here we go.
What is it?
Funny enough, when it comes to many of these monster quests, you can knock them all out almost immediately. What's even more interesting is that, unlike many other quest givers who have those, who have certain quest lines, oops. Monster type quests from quest givers, they tend to give you all of them at once. They may have 3 or 4 or maybe even more quests, so it's a good idea to accept them all. It's a good idea to accept them all before setting out. Also, pretty sweet shortcut. Which, funny enough, in this version of the game, it's not exactly easy to nail that. Unlike the original game, where the jump height was floatier and also you jumped slightly higher.
This is the tomb. Defensive measures prevent intruders from entering. You will have to circumvent these to move within the tomb.
One thing before we enter. Alvis, you can see the future like me.
I am from a long line of seers dedicated to serving the Imperial family. My visions help to protect the Empire.
But you're a Homs.
Yes. But that is for another time. My ancestry is not easily explained, and my ability to see the future is equally complicated. You might say, I have my own ritual. Is it not the same for you?
No. My visions appear suddenly, without warning. At first, they're obscure. Then, as it gets closer to the event, I start to understand.
It seems you possess a power greater than I still have not seen any danger befall Her Highness.
Not much use as a seer then, are you?
Nothing passes you by, does it? Now you see why I asked for your help. What a lucky coincidence that I happened to see you in danger.
A coincidence?
But I've seen you use the Monado.
The Monado has been passed down the Imperial line for generations.
Excuse me.
The sword of the Bionis. It is compelled to do its master's bidding. Magnified greatly, it has the power to control the very fabric of our world. Ether. Control the ether, and your will is made reality. I willed it, and it happened. That is all. Perhaps due to that power, the High Entia sealed away the Monado for centuries. Eventually, it found its way into the hands of the Homs, and then you, Shulk. A coincidence, or something more? You must discover this yourself, for you are the one who wields the Monado. The Bionis is stirring.
The ancestral altar lies deep beneath the seals. What trials await me, I wonder? I must not lose focus.
So anyway, at this point, Melia now is going to be participating in the trials of which await her in the High Entia tomb.
2,512 cycles since last visitor. State your name and purpose.
Melia Antiqua. I have come to be judged on my legitimacy to the throne by the ancestral spirits.
Permission granted.
It's so cold.
There are remnants of ancient spirits in here. This is no ordinary chill.
As I explained before, Dunban, the defense systems are designed to prevent uninvited...
Well, what does this do? Don't touch!
Too late.
Huh?
Well then. Welcome everyone to the High Entia tomb. What trials await everyone in this wondrous place? Well, probably some thrills, spills, and everything in between. Who knows? Anyway, for a little bit, we are going to be in control of Melia, and I believe during a regular new game playthrough of this game, the game will give you a sort of text tutorial and some advice on how to approach these trials with Melia. And that is basically, hey, use the elementals, you ding-dong. Not just that, but also, I think the game also advises you to put the enemies to sleep and then give them a good smack. Because when you put the enemies to sleep and you execute any sort of attack on them, then what will happen is, as soon as you execute the attack on them, you'll score a free critical hit, and it's always this way every time you put the enemy to sleep. But honestly, sleep as a status element isn't that bad, nor is it really that beneficial to you in this game. It really isn't. But that's just me and my personal opinion. And I'm pretty sure professional speedrunners of this game feel the exact same. Bye-bye. Also, at this point in the game, I believe while you're taking on the events of the High Entia tomb, you cannot fast travel. At least not with Melia, but as far as Shulk and friends, maybe. Maybe you can fast travel. I haven't tried it.
You have done well, my descendant.
Descendant? Are you the progenitor of Antiqua?
Think of me as a recreation of said ancestor, possessing his thoughts and speech.
But he passed away thousands of years ago.
Do not mistake me for a living being. I am a replica of your ancestor. I am merely a projection of what he would be if you were to meet him now.
I do not understand. But I do not suspect any falsehood in your words.
It is beyond doubt. If I could feel, I would feel joy. I am not real, but I do not lie.
Joy? What do you mean?
The results of the gene analysis show Holmes gene integration of 80%. Estimates suggest evolution within 8 generations. Our wishes are almost fulfilled.
Wishes?
Our purpose, as decreed by the Bionis, is linked to our genetic sequence. We have spent millennia analyzing sequences to free ourselves from the curse. Only a certain gene set will unlock the mechanism and set us free.
I still do not understand.
It is of no consequence. I grant you this seal.
Is this...
It is you who will rule the High Entia, and likely be their last.
revered ancestor?
Go forth and rule, my descendant.
So the spirits look favorably upon you.
Explain yourself. Only Imperials are permitted to enter this place.
I am the subject of Her Highness the First Consort. I need no permission.
Mother's subject?
No impure child of the second consort has the right to refer to the first consort as mother. A filthy Homs half-breed has no right to the throne.
Oh dear, looks like Tyrea has revealed her true colors. And it seems like Tyrea is not alone in this regard.
Who puts a great big hole somewhere like that?
As I explained, it's a defense mechanism.
What a mess, Rhine.
Friend not clever touching button.
I'm with these guys, Rhine.
How was I supposed to know that was gonna happen? What about your visions, eh? You think the two of you could come up with something?
You know it doesn't work like that.
It would have been useful, yes.
Pair of fortune-telling frauds.
You got us into this mess. And it's not the first time either.
Ricky, agree with Shulk.
Why is it my fault all of a sudden?
Because it is your fault.
It is your fault.
Precisely.
Well...
Be thankful that we are all alive. I suggest greater care next time. Our journey will be longer, but we can still make our way deeper into the tomb.
Okay. We can't waste another second. Melia needs us.
I couldn't agree more, Shulk. I couldn't agree more. Anyway, I haven't brought this up yet, but Alvis does join our party as a guest. Just like with every single other guest party member, he doesn't partake in battles, unfortunately. I wish he did. That would actually be pretty damn cool. But, oh well, it is what it is. So anyway, navigating through the High Entia tomb is nothing too difficult. The hallways themselves aren't anything too worrisome whatsoever. It honestly isn't. You will be dealing with a lot of these high-tech machines around here. And one thing I will mention here is, again, you don't have the ability to fast travel right now. And if you're severely underleveled in this place, oh dear, your ass is grass. You are essentially soft-locked. Okay, maybe not soft-locked, but you're gonna struggle a lot in this place. But if you are someone who does as many quests as possible, or has done a good number of quests at this point, then you shouldn't have too many problems navigating through this place. Did one of those pickups say tasty sausage? Like, how in God's name can you find sausage at a place like this? I guess it's one of life's major, or one of nature's mysteries, maybe. Who knows? This is definitely a strange place, but it's also very majestic. Thankfully, the place itself is not too big. There is some verticality involved, and some of the enemies around here can be kind of troublesome. But, again, so long as you're prepared, you shouldn't have too many problems. Plus, fighting enemies around here, it's a pretty good idea. Especially if you're looking to gain some very valuable experience, and if you're hunting down certain quest items. Like that. Plus, I think there are a couple of unique monsters around here, too. What's pretty funny was the first time I was here, I was definitely well above level 41 right now. In fact, I think I was closer to around level 43, level 45, somewhere around there. Well, that was easy enough. Neat. Another antenna added to the collection. So one thing I will mention here is that, as you can see, there's a lot of places where you can drop down. And thankfully, dropping down is not a bad idea. In fact, it's highly recommended that you do so. And the simple reason to this is because there is a big pool of water just below at the very bottom of the pit. But one thing to keep in mind, though, is that despite this, there are a few places around here which are nothing but an endless abyss. So you should still be careful and try not to fall too often, unless you know for sure that the pit contains a safety net, if you know what I mean. Nothing but new cylinders. New cylinders everywhere. So one thing I will say is, before you head into the pit of the High Entia, you really should be at level 35 at the very least throughout your entire party. Otherwise, you're going to be having a really rough time around here. If not level 35, then at least level 33. I wouldn't recommend going down any further than level 33 when navigating through this place. Otherwise, like I said, it's essentially game over. Oof. Man, my butt is killing me right now. Welcome to the Valley of the Emperors. When it comes to this particular room, what's really interesting about this place is, since we're technically considered grave robbers, we can't navigate through the room by means of materializing a random bridge. Instead, what we need to do is just climb on these climbable walls and just navigate that way. It's pretty simple. Nothing to worry about whatsoever.
That is a big ball of something.
He'd look fun and sparkle.
Don't go bouncing on it now. Otherwise you'll go zap.
It's not attacking us, at least.
Well, speak of the devil.
What's happening?
Hey, look at that.
Another defense mechanism.
At a guess, we're looking at the tomb's guard.
We're not getting past without a fight.
Everyone, Melia needs us. We can't let this thing stop us.
No problem. Time to break my record.
What kind of record are you talking about, Ryan? Damage output? Maybe? Who knows? Anyway, this Guardian here is nothing really to worry about whatsoever, unless you're under leveled, of course. In which case, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. But again, as long as you've been doing some quests and been fighting a bunch of monsters, you should be able to take this thing down without issue.
Anyone would think we're not wanted. Are we ever gonna find her?
I think you'll find we had to take the long way because somebody pushed a certain button.
Somebody mean Rhine.
Shut it, hairball. It was just a button.
But a very pretty button.
Relax. She will be fine. This route will lead us to the ritual altar. But time is of the essence.
We've got to hurry. There's no time to lose.
Alrighty. And like I said, that Guardian really wasn't anything to worry about whatsoever. Which is kind of hilarious considering that the major boss who's gonna be coming up relatively soon, that's gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. At least if you're underleveled and aren't doing a bunch of quests. However, if you're someone who does do a decent number of quests, this really shouldn't be that bad. Which is kind of funny coming from me, considering that my entire party is technically supposed to be level 99, but I leveled everyone down to keep things from getting boring. Know what I mean? Oh, hello. What do we got here? A hidden hallway. This is interesting. Let's see what we got down here. Funny enough, I believe these treasuries are considered traps. Ooh, summon bolt and ruby glasses. Neat. Hi. How y'all doing? Funny enough, this particular thing right here is a unique monster, and it will only spawn after you opened up the treasure chest. Which, it may not look like a treasure chest, but trust me, it most certainly is. All you have to do is just examine it, and it'll open. However, I think if you end up kicking the bucket to this thing, you don't lose the items that you just gained, thankfully. But if you want to fight this thing again, you will have to navigate back to this room once more. And there we go. All done with that. And as I've mentioned before, that those couple of weapons right there, they're not exactly what we would call necessary unless you already have, unless you don't happen to have any of them yet.
Don't get cocky. Stay focused. Stay sharp.
Sweet. Another quest down. That's good to see. Also, I'm pretty sure this area has a couple of different paths that you can take, but you won't be getting very far on the alternate path, not until you get Melia back into your party, and until much later in the game. So, if you're planning on exploring even further down the tomb, don't worry about doing that right now. Wait until later. Okay. Of course, we still have to make our way towards Melia before she ends up getting killed by the Telephia or even Tyrea. Which, funny enough, Tyrea may have, she may technically be working for the first consort, aka Melia's stepmother. And yes, I know what I said. She may be working for her, but she's not a totally evil person. She's just working for the wrong people. And by she, I obviously mean Tyrea. Not so much Melia. You don't need to worry about Melia. Melia's a good girl. Well then, here we are. Welcome to the main part of the tomb, of which we were supposed to get access to, but we didn't because Ryan had to be like, ooh, what does this button do? Know what I mean?
Filthy Homs half-breed has no right to the throne!
Melia, half Homs.
Oh dear.
Telephia! In the tomb! Why should you care when you're about to meet your death?
What I find kind of interesting here is that, isn't Melia supposed to technically lose her power a bit in that particular cutscene? When at least in Shulk's vision? It appears that's not the case here. I wonder what that's all about.
I will not let the throne be sullied!
Okay. For this fight, we have to fight both Tyrea as well as that Telephia. Although I think in order to win this fight as a whole, as I was saying, in order to win this fight as a whole, we have to defeat the Telephia. You can damage Tyrea for a little bit, but keep in mind though that eventually you will have to fight Tyrea again at some point. Then again, maybe not. Okay, that was easy enough. It's funny how I say that, and a lot of people struggle with that fight.
It's not over! Telephia! Kill as many of them as you can!
Keep clear! The Telephia is destroying itself!
Damn, Alvis! Who knew you could do something like that? Perhaps you could have helped us earlier?
Alvis, thank you.
My pleasure, Shulk.
Why did you come?
The Monado gave me a warning that you were in danger. I'm just glad we made it.
Hey, Shulk. Whoever that was is gone.
So, they escaped.
And again,
Shulk,
gotta love continuity errors due to the lack of a mask.
you saved me.
Ricky, smiley, smiley. Melly, all safe. All thanks to Hero Pawn.
That's not how I remember it, cheeseball.
Exactly. Still, that was a pretty nice moment. Not gonna lie.
And that concludes my report on events in the tomb.
So, there are forces working in the shadows.
However, this is purely circumstantial. Nothing can be proven.
Inquisitors of the Bionite Order, dedicated and devoted to the Bionis.
The Order was dissolved under the rule of the Emperor Lumion, 47th successor to the throne, due to its extreme practices.
Like puppet masters pulling the strings from the shadows. I believe their bloodline was lost to the ages.
Her Highness the First Consort is currently residing in the Tower of Investigation. The Ministry of Investigation's judgment should be imminent.
Well, that may not be enough. I myself must shine a light on the truth.
Agreed.
Mother,
Melia,
Your Majesty.
you have returned unharmed from the tomb. The Forefathers have spoken.
But if it hadn't been for Shulk...
Callian has informed me of what happened. There is no reason to doubt your legitimacy to the throne.
Believe in yourself, Crown Princess.
Brother.
Tomorrow will be the investiture ceremony. At the appointed time, you will become my successor. Be proud.
I will.
Melia, my child, I am overjoyed at how far you have come. You are truly worthy of the throne. Continue the legacy of your High Entia and Hom's bloodline. You are the hope of Bionis.
Oh, Ricky and friends help save Melia. Ricky very happy.
We're all relieved. But something's still bothering me.
What is it?
Why was Melia chosen as the crown princess? Shouldn't Callian have been the one to ascend? And her foe in the tomb clearly opposed that decision.
You have a point.
Callian is more than a worthy candidate. What reason could they have for choosing Melia? And why would Callian go along with this?
It's a mystery.
But I suppose they have their reasons.
Our apologies. His Majesty the Emperor summons you.
Finally! He's gonna let us into Prison Island. Yeah.
His Majesty awaits you in the audience chamber. He asks that you join him shortly.
Okay. So, to the audience chamber. Let's see. Any new quests around here? Not at this time, no. So, it might be a good idea to just say screw it and just head to the Ascension Hall anyway. So, like I was saying, some people struggle with that fight, the previous battle. But, again, as long as you've completed a decent number of quests and you're a fairly good level, you should be more than capable of taking the Telephia down, along with Tyrea.
Forgive us for detaining you earlier. You and I are not of the same people. But this I must say. Thank you for helping Melia Antiqua, my daughter.
You're welcome.
It was no small feat.
Not at all. I too must apologize for meddling in your customs. We should not have interfered.
She is a lucky girl to have met such unselfish people. In the times to come, a ruler will need support from individuals like you. I hear you seek the Mekon.
Yes. The Mekon devastated our homes, and we lost many loved ones.
Revenge is your goal?
It is.
You are honest.
I do not want to hide our true intentions. Our very existence is at stake.
Unwavering, too. Shulk, you are the master of the Monado. But there is something that must be said.
What is it?
Long before our forefathers built this empire, two titans, the Bionis and the Mekonis, fought a vicious battle. Is this known among Homs?
Yes. It is told to us as children. The two fought and died, killing many creatures in the process. Their remains became our worlds, bringing forth new life on Bionis. That's how we were made.
The Bionis shall awaken once again.
Alvis told me the same thing.
This is not just the vision of a seer. All of Makna knows. The Telephia are as old as the Bionis itself. And now, they disturb the ether. That disturbance can only lead to one thing.
But why is this happening now?
This is an inscription left by our forefathers. It is written, "Descendants of Antiqua, when the ether cries, the Bionis awakes. Mistake not the signs, and heed the sword's return. Trap its power, and assure eternal prosperity." All life born on Bionis affects the ether. The Mekon's assault is just the beginning. And these events were set in motion when you used the sword against them.
We used it because
Because you needed to. Without it, you could not survive. I cannot dispute this fact. I believe the inscription speaks of these very events with the Mechon. But if their assault continues, if more lives are lost, soon the Bionis will awake. And not only the High Entia, but all life will perish. Do you see, Shulk?
You're talking about total extinction.
Correct. Which is why the Mechon's invasion must be stopped.
Then you'll help us. Your Majesty, we need Imperial sanction to enter Prison Island. Will you permit us entry?
What will you do there?
I saw it in a vision. We will fight a faced Mechon. They must pay for what they did.
Then you will have seen him too. On Prison Island, our forefathers sealed something away, just as they did to the Monado. All records have been lost, and there is now no way to know what it was.
Is it connected to the awakening of the Bionis?
I do not know, but our forefathers must have had good reason. We must trust their decision. Shulk, allow me some time to deliberate. Above all else, I will consider the safety of Bionis. You are our Bionis brethren. We will not ignore your plight.
I understand. This is not our homeland. If you decide not to let us go, I will accept your decision.
I am sorry.
It's okay.
One more thing.
Yes?
I ask this not as Emperor Saurian Antiqua, but as a father. I do not demand that you act as Melia's protector, but I would be honored if you would be her friend. This is my humble request.
It would be my honor.
The Telephia are on the move.
Yes.
That fleshy fool will go for the Monado. What of the faces?
Repairs to metal are complete.
And Nemesis?
Nemesis is...
The Homs with the Monado. He has reached Eryth Sea?
Yes.
And there is only one place for them to go. Yet he will not dare unleash such power. No matter. Bugs must still be exterminated. It is time to test our new toy. Commence the assault on Bionis.
Oh boy, that doesn't look good. The assault on Bionis begins right now. Although, I wonder what this new toy is. It looks like a spear of some kind. A spear of justice? Or a spear of death? The world may never know.
Can this be true?
It will happen soon.
I saw Melia. She was fighting a battle against a Mechon with a strange group of Homs.
Yes.
That sword, could it be the... Could it possibly... And that location, was it...
The vision is a sign. By your will, it can be changed.
For now, we must consider all things. Everything. The capital. And the lives of our people depend on it.
Wow! Take a look at that! A High Entia air show!
Bird people fly higher than knob-on birds.
They've got some neat tricks. Shulk, I think that's Melia up there.
No, really? You think? Who else could it be? Princess Peach?
By the authority of our divine ancestors, I, Melia Antiqua, am honored to accept the responsibility of becoming your next benevolent ruler. Should I be deemed unworthy of this calling, or fail to protect the ancestors or the Bionis, I promise here and now to throw myself on the mercy of you, the people.
Most majestic. That fragile girl in the forest is a distant memory.
But which one is the real Melia?
I wonder what she meant by that.
I ask this not as Emperor Saurian Antiqua, but as a father. I do not demand that you act as Melia's protector, but I would be honored if you would be her friend.
No, it's not like that. They're one and the same girl. I think.
Honestly, I'm with Shulk on this as well. I feel the same exact way. At least in that regard, when it comes to Melia.
And what did you see, Alvis?
Oh, it's you.
Don't play games.
No need to be angry. I only wanted to analyze the boy. Which was the point, no? I did not interfere with your ministerial affairs. In fact, you should be thanking me.
I wonder if he feels the same.
We have all the information we need. We know that such a Telephia cannot hurt them. You see, nothing can befall him before he sees his dream fulfilled.
I wonder what Alvis and Lorithia are cooking up. Whatever it could be, who knows?
Brand spanking new. Nothing like an ether change and a new paint job. We don't need her. Look at me. Look at me, goody two-shoes. Let's just see if you hold back the screams when his blade gets a taste of you. I love a warm welcome. Let's settle this machine to machine.
So they've got a new crown princess. 3 cheers for Melia.
Right, but we're still no closer to that murdering-faced Mekon.
Once we reach Prison Island, we'll get our chance. I've seen us there. It must be true.
Shulk, man. Maybe we can still persuade Bigwings. Melia's crown princess now. I reckon the Emperor might change his mind.
Maybe.
Rhine, the Emperor's request was clear. Give him time. There's more to this island than we know. Things are at play here that reach beyond our understanding.
Done right. Ricky and friends visit Melia now.
Hey, the adults are talking, Pops.
Ricky want to see Melia. Ricky think Melia's sad too.
She might like the distraction. All those stiff ceremonial duties. You decide, Shulk.
Ricky say yes.
I agree with Ricky. We should go. Go and see Melia and say hello. Especially considering that Melia is... her duties as Empress or future Empress, it can be a bit of I'm not really sure how to describe it. Stressful and also a bit troublesome. Perhaps she just needs a shoulder to lean on, and I feel as though now is a good time as any to lend her our shoulder. And besides, a lot of crap went down with the tomb of the High Entia anyway, with Tyrea being nothing but a filthy traitor, plus the fact that we found out that Melia is technically half Homs and half High Entia at the same time. How that is possible is not really much of a mystery, but I think the game will reveal those answers in due time, and I don't want to spoil what that mystery is, though I do know exactly what it is. And I believe around this point, there will be some quests that will open up just after we speak with Melia, and honestly, it might not be a bad idea to get those quests started, but we'll see. One thing's for certain, this is definitely a beautiful sanctuary.
You came to see me.
Ricky's friend, Melia! Oh, Melia looked amazing before. Oh, Ricky's so proud.
Really? It all happened so fast. What a stunning garden. The arrangements, the fountain. When the colony is up and running, can I steal some ideas?
My late mother adored this place.
Late, Mother? But I thought your mum was...
Her Highness, the first consort, is not my birth mother. Members of the imperial family must take 2 wives. 1 Homs, 1 High Entia. My mother is the second consort. I am half Homs, half High Entia.
Melia.
Melia live here?
Yes, Ricky. Since I was young, I cannot walk outside as you see me now, so this garden gives me much relief.
What's wrong with how you look? Who cares if you're half Homs? You'll always be you.
Their way of thinking differs from ours. Different ways, different morals.
So that's why you wear a mask in public?
Yes. Shulk, in less than an hour there will be a banquet in the palace. I would like you all to come.
Oh, Ricky's so hungry, he could even eat smelly oruga.
There'll be plenty to eat.
Finally, some decent grub. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. What's on the menu? Any High Entia specials?
Do not embarrass me at this dinner.
Expectations lead to disappointment. We aren't talking about Rhine here.
What? That's the last time I sit next to you, then.
I have much to prepare. I will have someone call for you later.
We can't wait.
Is there something wrong?
No.
You are a funny one.
Emperor!
It can't be.
Shulk!
It's the Emperor.
Father!
Another vision!
Shulk, what did you see?
On that tower. On Prison Island.
Oh boy.
What does the siren mean?
It means...
Mekon! They're coming!
Oh man, that is definitely not very good. Perfect weather to accompany a Mekon attack, am I right? Oh dear. And it's not just any Mekon attack either, it's the attack of the Faces. He's having such a good time, he's having a ball. No wonder people can't stop him. Okay. Gotta love that slow-mo run.
Report!
Yes, sire. We received a report from our south station. Mekon are approaching.
Impossible!
Callian, your sister's time has come.
Your Majesty.
There is only one course of action left. We will not waver from our destinies.
Father!
Callian, take charge of the capital's defenses. I will go to Prison Island.
Tell me, what happens to my father?
It follows my last vision. We're on Prison Island. Metalface and your father are...
Prison Island? Why would father go there? No! I must go to the palace. I must stop him. I will go to the audience chamber.
Wait, Melia. We're coming too.
Oh boy. Well, things have officially hit the fan. And when I say things, I really mean things have officially gone downhill in the worst ways possible. And let me tell you, folks, this is definitely not exactly what we call the best of times. Okay. Also, apparently some new side quests have technically opened up, which is kind of interesting, considering that, oh, I don't know, the entire place is under attack or something? Like, Jesus. This is definitely not exactly what we call a situation where it's exactly appropriate to have side quests open up. But here we are.
What is it?
Alright, sure. Here you go. We'll, get this quest at least, started up. By the way, I'm pretty sure it's just 2 more side quests that open up. Although, I kind of wonder, the Mekon are currently on their way here and are attacking at the Eryth Sea. Yet, why is it that no one is being evacuated or being moved to, like, some sort of evacuation shelter? Why is that? Perhaps the reason why is because they are really confident in their defense system? Which, I guess that makes sense, considering the fact that the defense system has kept the citizens of Alcamoth safe for centuries. And considering the fact that the Mekon attack now, they might feel really comfortable with the fact that these defense systems are going to keep them safe. Or will it? There might be more to play here than just the defense system even being here in the first place. Who knows? Anyway, I know that I'm technically over the 3-hour mark now, but I kind of want to start up the next major thing, or at least get the next major arc of this chapter started before we call it a session.
Brother! Where is father?
Melia.
The Imperial staff, it's... So father has gone. Callian!
The Emperor has proceeded to the island alone, for the sake of the Empire.
Why did you let him go alone? Father!
His Majesty is fully aware.
Alvis.
Of what will happen to him, and what he must do before then.
You saw something.
I did, during our ancient divination ritual.
If he knows, then why?
Because he is the ruler of the Imperial family and all the High Entia. We must respect his decision above all else.
But that doesn't mean...
Trust him, Shulk. His fate was decided long ago.
No!
Shulk, we're going.
But Dunban...
Respect? Destiny? We don't need rules to tell us when to save the people we care for.
Damn
You too,
right.
Melia. Don't give up on him. The Emperor, your father, is going to die.
Dunban!
There's only one thing to do. Are you with me?
Of course. But you can't.
We are Homs. Do what you must. But your laws don't concern us.
My apologies, Dunban.
No apologies needed. So, Melia, what's it to be?
We go to Prison Island.
And funny enough, Prison Island is going to be our next stop. And I believe at this point now, you are not allowed to fast travel. And you won't get this ability back until after you set out of this place. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to make my way towards the exit the good old-fashioned way. And that is by just walking. So, I guess with this in mind, I'll go ahead and start signing things out for now. So, yeah, this has definitely been one hell of a day. A lot has gone down. We found out about Melia's hidden heritage, and the fact that she's half Homs, half High Entia. And considering that the ancestors said that Melia may be the last ruler of the High Entia, I'm pretty sure that's foreshadowing the events to come. Or is it? I mean, with the power of the Monado, we have been able to save many people who were destined to die. Perhaps we'll be able to do it again. Who knows? Only one way to find out, and that is to tune into the next exciting adventure, that is Xenoblade Chronicles. So, when we make our way to the entrance, I'll go ahead and make... Alright, we're already here, so we're just going to go ahead and end things here for today. This is General Snivy with the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition playthrough. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. Next time, we're going to be heading towards Prison Island, where the Emperor supposedly went. And let me tell you folks, it's gonna be a hell of a party when we get there. Hope you're all looking forward to the adventures of the next session. It's gonna be a fun ride. And I hope you're all more than willing to join me on this magnificent quest. So, once again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all later.